In this video, I will be showing you how to connect a repository to Heroku and have it run on Heroku. So I have this CSE 341 faculty repository that currently has no Heroku influence at all. It can run locally. I was just running it locally, and this is what it looks like. Okay, very similar to your 341 project that you cloned in week 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a Heroku project for that so I can host it on the Heroku website. So I stopped my server from running, okay? And notice this is just from the root of my project. So if I close up everything over here, you'll see I have the CSE 341 faculty, which is the root. I have this app.json, index.js, package.json. It's the root of my application, okay? In here, I said Heroku create.
And then it said that it created this Morning Brushlands 49161 project or app. Okay. Now, with that, to be able to actually run this command, you have to go to Heroku. If you just Google Heroku download, you have to just download the Heroku CLI. Okay. And so right here, download and install. Pick your operating system. Once you run it, at least for the Windows users, the Heroku variable has to be inside of your path variable. So for me to actually run that in my command prompt or terminal or anywhere, I have to put, it has to be here in my environment variables, okay? And that's where it was installed by default. It was just the program files. I made a Heroku directory in there, and then you always put the bin inside of this, this path variable. Okay, so once that is installed, you can go ahead and run all sorts of Heroku commands using that Heroku CLI. Okay, one of the first ones that you may have to run is the Heroku Login. Okay, so once you install it, let's go ahead and run this npm install. That -g is to make it a global install. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so I'm going to say Heroku install. Whoops, sorry. npm install -g Heroku. And again, you're only going to have to do this once. But once that's installed, it'll go ahead and install it globally for you. Next up, verifying your installation. Once it's there, I guess we'll give that a sec. Pretty standard to just run this version command. We did the same thing when we installed npm and when we installed Node. And so you'll want to just double check that to make sure that you have Heroku up and running on your machine and you can execute commands using the CLI, okay? After you install the CLI, run the Heroku Login command. You'll be prompted to enter any key to your web browser to complete the login. Now, the reason why I was able to run this Heroku create before I ran all this stuff is because I've already done it, okay? I haven't created anything for this project, but I've already installed Heroku globally on my machine. I've already installed it, already have it in my path variables, and I've already done the Heroku login for this machine. Once all that's set up, then you can run commands from the CLI all you want, but I'll go ahead and say Heroku login anyways. Press any key to open up the browser. Okay, it opens up the browser, log in. Logged in, thanks Google. Okay, so with that, you should, from week 1, you created your Heroku account, and you'll just use those same credentials to log in. So whatever email and password used for that, that is how you'll log in. All right. Once you're done with that, we ran the Heroku create command. All right, and now it'll be there. Okay, so technically I can click on this link. Alt click open, thank you. And it'll take me to my new Heroku app. This is not my code. This is just created when it created the application. I can also go to Heroku.com. And there's my Morning Brushlands app, okay? And I can come into here and I can change the name. I can go into settings. I can change the name if I wanted to change it to something else. There's my Heroku Git URL, which I will need. Okay, for now, I'll just say CSE 341 Birch demo. Okay. What? Name must start with a letter, end with a letter or digit. Okay, how about just 341 demo? Oh, only lowercase. All right, you guys can learn from my mistakes. Okay, so I got my CSE 341 demo app. Notice it changed my remote here. So I'm going to copy that. And because I changed that, if I do git remote -v in here, it'll show me my remotes. There's my GitHub remote that I've been using before. And then here's my morning brush lens remote that it created for me when I ran Heroku create. So I'm going to go ahead and say git remote remove Heroku. And then if I run that git remote command again, you can see Heroku's gone. And then I'll say git remote add Heroku and paste that. Okay. And then if I run that again, you can see now I have my new CSE 341 demo app ready to rock. All right, now I can say git push Heroku origin, build push and refs. Let's say git add, git commit, first commit, and git push. Whoops, that'll go to the wrong. Git push Heroku origin. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so let me go ahead and just Google this real quick. So failed to push some refs to Heroku. Come here. So we did add, commit, push. Let's make sure our branches are right. Heroku origin, that's not helpful. Let's try git push Heroku master. Details. All right, we'll go ahead and push to that. Give it a sec here. And while that's going, I'm going to pull up something to show you guys a cool little trick. All right, so while that's pushing, this link pushing to multiple Git repos. So I can add multiple remotes to the same Git command, basically. So if I say Git remote set URL add push, so anytime I push, I want to add something to origin, I can have multiple URLs here so that anytime I say Git push, basically, it can go to a GitHub URL and a Heroku URL. So you can use these commands to push to multiple URLs. All right, let's see if that worked. Looks like it worked. Okay, another Heroku CLI command is Heroku Open. And it should just open up that link that it gave us for our project. And look at that. So here's my app. Well, that's not my app, that's old. Where'd my app go? Oh, well, that's okay. But here's my app. Notice this is running on my CSE 341 demo website, okay? And it's the exact same thing that, that I just had running locally, okay? So that should be all that you need to get your Heroku projects up and running. Starting in week 2, everything that you submit will be submitted through both Heroku and GitHub, okay? Because once you push to Heroku, that's awesome. We can see the executed project, but we cannot see the code. So you need to include the GitHub links and the Heroku URL so that we can actually view your code on GitHub and then see the implementation of that code on your Heroku site. So I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.